Hey, plumbing bros, welcome to Potty Talk Live, where we take it into the crawl spaces, the trenches, the kitchens and baths all around the world to talk to plumbing pros just like you. Hello, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, and we're coming at you here live from Command Central. I'm looking out my window. It's a beautiful day here in Command Central in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hope you're having a great day. I hope you survived your weekend. Did you survive your weekend? Here in the U.S., we celebrated St. Patrick's Day, you know, for all the Irish. On St. Patrick's Day here in the U.S., we're all Irish. And they were out, at least in our neck of the woods, in form on Saturday night, I guess was the big night here for us. How about you? Did you have a good time? You had a good time? You know, throw me a 1 down in the comments, all right? But I think... I'm getting a little older. My wife and I, the lovely Laura, we stayed in. We did a Netflix night, you know. We just, we binged on Netflix and didn't watch any. In fact, we didn't eat anything Irish or even drink anything Irish. I think we just, I think we made Italian. So, but it was a fun evening. So I hope you survived your evening. And, you know, I hope you remember that toilets are for installing and not worshiping, if you get my drift there. All right? Okay. But other than that, hey, we got a great show here. Got a cool cat lined up for you from New York. Great story. Was talking to him in the green room before we launched here. This guy is on the right track. Hey, I hope you guys will listen up. He's business-wise, he's doing... man, he's going to have some nuggets of gold for us, and just has a great story, too, on how he uses his business to support other things other than just plumbing. So can't wait to bring him up, and we'll talk to him shortly. Hey, just wanted to share with you this weekend, had a kind of a cool thing happen. It just reminded me to kind of bring this up with you guys here, that I had talked to a guy at church on Sunday, you know, approached me. As you probably get approached, I get approached all the time. From guys that want to get into the business, whether it's their own plumbing company or even, you know, in this case, this guy has an electrical company. And, you know, so he has his electrical license, and he's doing all the right things. Electrical license, so he's licensed and bonded. You know, he had his truck. His truck looks great, and it's all vinyl, pretty, has a great name. And, you know, he's looking to take over, you know, in his case, the electrical service world. You know, that's his dream. And that just got me thinking, you know, he was hitting me up with, you know, what to do now. It just wasn't coming together like he expected. And you know, I was recalling that, you know, back in the day when I started out, you know, very similar thing. You know, I had my plumbing license, and, you know, I had my truck, it had all vinyl, looked good, cool name, and the dream of taking over the plumbing world, you know, at least in my area. And I get out there, and I soon discovered that it was just, you know, it wasn't just about plumbing. You know, there was something that was missing. Well, I finally discovered those things. I discovered the secrets, all right? And there are secrets. And it took me from being a, you know, I guess, you know, working from the kitchen table, you know, kitchen table plumber to, you know, being the $1 million plumber, all right? And if I can do it, I know you can too, but you've got to know these secrets. And I put them in a special report that I entitled The 7 Must Knows to Be $1 Million Plumber, and I want to get that in your hands, okay? The 7 Must Knows to Be $1 Million Plumber. In it, you'll find those things that can take you from your kitchen table and make you into a $1 million plumber. But you've got to know these must knows, all right? So you can simply go to my fan page at the $1 Million Plumber, and you can click the Learn More button. You go that route, or as the banner here says, you can type free in the comments. That's free as in F-R-E-E, and I'll get that right out to you, okay? You want that in your hands. You'll be glad you did. It's free to you, no strings attached, there's no catch. It's my free special gift to you, all right? Hey, it's time to get our special guest on. I can't wait to get this guy on and have you guys hear from him. A cool cat by the name of Kevin Nickerson. Get his last name there, Nickerson of Many Miracles Plumbing, Heating and Air, a cool name. And hey, we have a picture of his truck. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Nice looking brand there. And a cool name. We're going to ask him about his name. And that's part of the story here. Real cool story there. So, Hey, give us some thumbs up. Give Kevin some thumbs up or some ones as he comes into the broadcast. Kevin, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you? I'm a little disappointed that you didn't celebrate the good old Irish holiday.
I know. I got Irish blood in me, and that's where my ancestors come from. But I guess I'm getting old. It was fun. We just did a Netflix thing. Ate Italian.
I don't know.
Hey,
you've always got to go to the pub for a pint of Guinness.
Yeah, pint of Guinness. Yes. I'll make it this week. All right. How about you? You doing all right? Did you get out this weekend?
Doing all right. Yeah. Had a friend's baby reveal that we went to, gender reveal party. Cool. Which is a cool time. And then took the kids swim class. 3-year-old daughter kind of swim, so they love it.
All right, man. Hey, cool stuff. Hey, glad to have you on here. Again, we have Kevin Nickerson of Many Miracles Plumbing, Heating, and Air. A cool name, man. How'd you come up with that name?
Well, it's a very long story, but we're going to try to keep it short. Okay. My wife is a breast cancer survivor, and when she was diagnosed 3 months after her diagnosis, her eldest sister passed away from the same disease. And during that time, a friend of theirs had reached out to my wife, this woman, Anna, and she had said to Jamie, Jamie, I know you're not really thinking about it right now, but you need to preserve your fertility. Chemotherapy in young women has a high rate of causing infertility as a side effect. So my wife had 7 eggs that were retrieved and frozen. She went through 16 rounds of chemotherapy. We started dating towards the end of that, and then moved in together, got engaged, got married, and tried having kids for almost 2 years after our marriage, when we were told that, and a little bit before too. Sorry, guy. But we were told that she was infertile due to the chemotherapy. So we took those 7 eggs and thawed them. 4 were mature, 3 became embryos, and 2 made it to implementation day. And today we have our twin daughters. We have Grace Ann, because we were graced by Anna's phone call, and Teresa, after my sister-in-law Tracy, except we call her daughter Tessa.
So, oh man, that's
Little Mini Miracles.
Little Mini Miracles. So that's the name of your company there. And we were talking beforehand. Don't you kind of still support things, or involved in breast cancer support, or how do you use your company for that?
Well, we to make it obvious for everyone, we put the pink ribbon on the van. The van has a pink tint to it. We wear pink uniforms, pink gloves, pink shoe covers for our boots, and we give back 5% of all annual profit to breast cancer organizations, so we can try to help. And that's at a minimum. That's something as in our company mission statement, my partners and I, that we agreed upon that we should be able to do. And then of course, we do more when we can do more.
Right.
Starting to put the link actually in the follow-up invoices to our customers, so they can just feel free, if they want to go ahead, they can go ahead and donate to that cause, separate from their contribution through whatever profit we may make on the job. So
that's great. It's how you can fit the both business and supporting the things that you're interested in and want to support. There's so much more to business and our business, as we were talking about, than just the plumbing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're in the business of helping people as a standard anyway. Right. If you don't like helping people, you do new construction plumbing. But we enjoy helping people. I enjoy helping people. It's easily the best part of my days when I can go to a customer's house and resolve their problem and leave there with a smile on their face and a smile on mine.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
Helping people is just pretty much a standard in my life. Another reason why we're Mini Miracles is a lot of people pray for help, and a lot of people look to faith for help and for miracles. And I'm a firm believer that miracles happen here on earth. They happen between people. If you ask for help, you'll find there's more people who are willing than more people who are not. And it's because of Anna reaching out to my wife, Anna's decision to share her story, because Anna is a breast cancer survivor who was diagnosed a week after her honeymoon and went through chemo, and nobody told her to preserve her fertility. And her husband have been married now, I think, for over 15 years, and could never have kids. It was Anna's strength to share her story and to get involved and to be proactive that connected her with Jamie and Jamie's sister. And she reached out to her, and that was the miracle. The miracle was between two people. It wasn't between, the Lord, and he may have had something to do with it if people believe that, or whatever your faith may bring you to. But I believe that, on earth, we can do more. We can create miracles, amongst ourselves. All we have to do is talk and ask.
Yes, we are the hands and feet. Exactly. All right, man. Hey, well, how did you get into plumbing in the first place?
Well, my father is a steam fitter. I'm fourth generation in my union, and it's in the blood. It's in the blood, and we're a combination local. We do steam fitting and plumbing. And when I got into the local, at the time, the business manager said, "You know what? Why don't we put you on the plumbing side?" I had two brothers who were in at the time. I got a third who's in now. Cousins who were in, uncles who were in. My father was in, all fitters. So he was like, "Let's see if we can put you in the plumbing side." So he did, and I took to it. I love plumbing. It's more enjoyable to me than the steam fitting side was. Again, because the service, So what's your favorite, and so you chose plumbing, and it sounds like the service. What's your favorite plumbing job? I mean, what do you like to do? What's your service? Honestly, I like to go to customers. They don't know what their problem is, where they've called someone else and someone else couldn't figure it out. Spots where I can really shine with knowledge and experience as opposed to just be another guy who can put things together. So, when I go to a customer's house and they can't figure it out, and they're like, "We've had two plumbers here and they couldn't figure it out, or they couldn't do the job." I love those jobs. I love the one because the miracle, I want to be that miracle for you. You've had two people tell you to wait or they couldn't do it. For instance, I had a customer this past January when we had that bomb cyclone and that deep freeze in the Northeast. Yeah. She had another plumbing company out there for 2 days trying to thaw her heat lines, and they walked away and they collected payment. And because it's a diagnostic, unfortunately, there's a few things in our trade where it's educated guesswork. Mm-hmm. And time is time, and time is valuable. So they charged, they couldn't resolve the issue, but she wanted to get her heat working, so she took a chance on me, and I got it working for her. And I got it working for her in just a couple hours when she had someone else there for 12 hours. Because it was more of an educated guesswork. It was more of, okay, I understand you have a freeze here, but let's see where is most susceptible as opposed to just trying to thaw the line and work in increments. So I found this one little spot of piping, which once we opened up the wall, actually went outside and came back into her house, and that's where it froze. So it took me 10 minutes once we found that to get her heat back up and running. Yep. So I love those jobs.
That's why I love service too. Not only is, I believe, at least in my experience, and I'm just a big proponent of service plumbing, because that's where you really can do more than just make a living. But I like just what you said, the idea of making someone's day, and being able to go in there and serve them. And most customers are pretty cool. Again, I always say no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber, so it's not like we're delivering flowers or pizzas. But it sure is fun to see them on the backside of the job.
Just taped another great episode of Potty Talk Live with
and you got it taken care of. Always enjoy those kinds of things as well.
Absolutely, it's also reaffirming as to my capabilities as a plumber.
Right.
I'm 32. I've been doing this now for 10 years. Be going for my master's license this spring, and it's always reaffirming to know that, okay, you know what, they had another company and another gentleman here who's been doing this, chances are longer than myself, as it was in that case, and I was able to hit the home run,
Exactly. And I just, as a reminder to the rest of the pros out there, not that you guys do this, but I always made it a practice not to throw the other plumber under the bus. So to speak.
Absolutely not.
If I came in behind them and they did, and I was able to figure something out or actually do something better or get the job done. We all have the days when things don't work out for us, or we're just not in the right groove, or it's not our expertise, our lane that we're comfortable with. Anytime we throw, one of our, brothers under the bus, it really throws us all under the bus. So,
absolutely. Like I said, when people charge, their time is valuable. There's a reason for it. There's a science behind everything we do, and some of that science is pretty hard-hitting science, and some of it, like when you have frozen pipes, It's educated guesswork. That's all it is. It's where is the most susceptible to freeze? Where is that pipe disappearing? Where is it coming back up at? Where can we get to it to put the clamps on or get the heat gun in there? Exactly. What can we do to bring in that warm air? And, you know, when you have a basement where the zones run all along the outside wall and it's a finished basement, it's a lot of guesswork sometimes, for instance. So, no, you can't. And, I mean, truthfully, nobody knows everything. Right. In our trade, I mean, you know, a lot of homeowners just assume that, you know, it's flappers replacing, you know, and like everything's simple, but there's a lot of science and code's changing, technology's changing. Kohler can't make up their mind how they want to do their flush valves. Like, I mean, you know, so there's so many different things that can vary that that guy may have been bad with the freeze up, but if it was an actual boiler problem, he might have done circles around me, you know? And, or you never know who you might want to work with or hire or sub out. I mean, if you're too busy, if a customer calls me and I can't do the job, I want to be able to give them someone who can. Two reasons. One, I did the right thing for them, even though I couldn't physically do the job. You still did the right job. You know, you don't tell a customer, sorry, I can't help you. Good luck, because they're not going to think of you next time anyway. They're going to call the guy that does the job and does it right for them. But if you're able to refer someone, then there's chances that customer can come back to you. You know, they called you last time, gave them a good guy. They want to try you again because now you're available. You know, or vice versa. They called that guy, now I gave it back too busy. You know,
exactly.
Everybody, you're a community. You're a community. When you're plumbers, you're a community. There's only, 10, 20, or 100 of you in an area. You're neighbors. You know, you love thy neighbors. So you get along. You make sure, as long as somebody's not purposefully being, malicious intent to the customer, then I always assume that it was something off or just a bad day, or they needed to step back and they didn't get that chance to step back. And sometimes when you get flustered, you start tripping over your feet. It takes a minute to get your balance back.
That's right. Yep, that's right. I've been, I've had days like that where, it's like, do I even know what I'm doing? And, you mentioned that, we're a community, and that's so true. I've been asked, I use the term, my, plumbing bros, and I use that to talking to guys all over the world. We
don't forget the
really
sisters.
Yeah, we got some sisters out there, and there are a few sisters, and but we are a community, and we are a brotherhood, so to speak, and we should support one another, and we can hold each other to a higher,
absolutely,
a higher level, so we can do that with ourselves. So, hey, what has you fired up about the future of our industry?
I don't know. Me personally, I truly believe that the pendulum for a long time has been swinging towards the handyman plumber. And right now with the advent of YouTube, a lot of people think that they can do it themselves, and a lot of things they can do themselves. And I'm all for that. If a homeowner can't fix their flapper, it's not a moneymaker for me. It seems like I'm expensive in a part comparison into time. But because of the overhead, the insurance, the bonding, the licensing, the ongoing education that we do, not to mention the office space, the staff, the marketing, there's a lot of overhead. I don't want to change a flapper. Even though it's an easy job, it's actually not a moneymaker. It would be if I was a handyman, but I'd rather teach my homeowner how to do that. So what I think is coming back, at least what I'm trying to bring back, is 1950s customer service. I want my customers to know how I like my coffee. I want to know their kids. When I go to their house, ask about the football game and ask about the soccer game. I think people are starting to appreciate those connections again. Technology, this thing has depersonalized and everybody. So now when people feel that personal connection, when I walk into a home and we actually talk and we start to connect, you form a bond with your customers that's been gone for a while now. I don't believe that I'm in our industry. Things have been done right for the past 10, 15 years. Everybody's been so focused on the here and now and making as much money as possible, or just taking as many calls as you can because the economy was so bad. You wanted to get in and out and take that next call. The focus was today. It wasn't about tomorrow. I think now the focus is back on tomorrow. Like you said, the focus is the future. The future is what has me fired up. Customer service.
Oh, I think the opportunity is huge. You mentioned, we hear about that, and you mentioned about being in these other sites, and you hear what guys are talking about, the concern about, the handyman thing happening out there. But the future's never been brighter for our industry because, a lot of these customers really even can't do the flapper themselves. I mean, we're now a society where we're used to, clicking that. I don't have mine right here in front of me with the phone. You got the apps and you get the answers right now and it's free and it's all right there. Plumbing really, there is more to it than that. And it's also something that robots aren't going to take over or AI. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of the industry, in terms of the actual tradesmen, in terms of the actual licensed plumbers out there, apprentices, the future is beautiful for us because, again, I mean, in my area, every municipality, has their hands involved with permits and regulations. And one of the reasons why I love the branding on the side of my van is my customers can know we're doing the right thing, because if an inspector drives by my van, he's not going to say, is that guy a plumber? Is he doing something? He knows I'm a plumber. He knows I'm in there working. So we do the right job. We file the permits. Right. Every time. It doesn't matter what it is we file because it's easier to do it right than to get away with doing it wrong.
And good point, Kevin. And it's reminding the other guys, that are watching, listening, that, doing it by the book like that, because it's only getting more regulated.
Absolutely.
I see it going more and more that way. So the more that...
There's one municipality, I won't name it on here, where I have a close relationship with the plumbing inspector. I actually worked with him in the field for a while, and he helped me get enough money to buy my engagement ring for my wife. But that's the bond I want with all my inspectors, is for them to know, okay, you know what, Mini Miracles is calling. We know they did the right job, so file the permit. The inspection's going to go by pretty quick or pretty smooth. They'll come out, see what they got to see. Sometimes when it's emergency repair and you got to get that wall fixed or the concrete poured, they'll take a picture, because they know your word and they know your ethics and standards. And quite frankly, I hear that all the time, like you said, about people saying, it's too much of a hassle, or the permit fee sometimes is a third of the job. And it's like, so what? That's the customer's burden, not yours. Do the right job. Let the customer know. Just like when a car's got to get inspected every year, in New York State, guess what? The plumbing permit's got to get pulled. We got to do the job the right way.
Exactly right. You're exactly right. And so, and it's just good to have those relationships, do the right thing, and it will come, you price things out, like you said. I like how you said, let the customer worry about it. The customer needs to take care of that permit, you just pass that cost on. And it's just, it's just part of living, part of home ownership,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Nobody's paying my licensing fees yearly. I got to pay for my license.
Right.
Plain and simple. Whether I make money or don't make money, if I want to be in business, I got to pay for my license. I got to pay for my insurance. It's the way it is. You do pass those costs on. And for me, I pass those costs on directly. I don't mark up. I don't say, okay, the permit's $50 and time to do the paperwork is going to cost me another 15 minutes and sending it over. No, the permit's $50, it's $50. The cost of filing that permit is included the price of the job.
Yep.
And everything's flat rate. As long as it fits within a standard, it's that flat rate. If it does not fit within that standard, if it's not an exceptionally easier job than what it typically is, or if it's exceptionally difficult, then we change the flat rate accordingly and we adjusted the job based on time and material. But otherwise, everything's a flat rate cost. I cover Westchester County, New York. So we have families who combined income is $60,000 a year and less, and we have families where there's a single earner making millions. I've actually worked at a gentleman's house who's worth $8 billion.
Yeah.
So, and I should say state. He had multiple houses, but my point is my price for him was the same for the other family.
Right.
You don't gouge. You can't do that. If you mark up anybody, you don't know who lives in the wealthy community and they have a cousin in the poor community. Right. And the guy in the wealthy community referred you to the cousin in the poor community because you did a good job, and he said, "Don't worry, he was fair." And then you get there in the poor community and you charge him cheaper, or vice versa. Right. Just be honest. Integrity is everything.
Flat rate isn't about charging too much. It's charging what covers your expenses and makes you a business and keeps you in business. So
Absolutely.
you can take care of your customers. And, I look at it this way, the same kind of a thing for years. I'm a big proponent again of flat rate pricing. It's how you can become $1 million plumber. It's also extremely fair to the customer. And also, I look at it, we had a very wealthy customers. You walk in and they got, it's a 10-car garage kind of a thing. but we charge the same amount to the same person, in different areas of our community that wouldn't be, certainly not at that level. But we found out through the years that you'd be surprised. In our opinion, it was disrespectful to charge or treat the people who weren't as wealthy differently. They decided to call you based on, they wanted a certain feeling too. They wanted the best, so they called you. They chose you. And they want good equipment. They want a good experience. They want to be taken care of, and they'll pay for it. You'd be surprised.
Absolutely. Listen, when you go to Chili's, they don't look at you and say, "Okay, you're in a suit. Your burger's $18. Okay, you're in jeans and an oily T-shirt. Your burger's $6. Right. The burger's the burger. Like They're operating expense for their wait staff, their electric, their plumbing, their bills, their cook staff. All their overhead is included in the price of the burger. It's the same thing with us. I have an inventory and tools of over $50,000 on this truck. Right. So, and then when you include the truck cost, everything else. Right. Absolutely. And when it breaks, I don't charge the customer whose job it broke on. Right. That's built into my, because how do you do that? How do you say, my Sawzall broke on your job, so I need an extra $300 from you? You don't. Right. And and it wasn't free either. Exactly. Hey, guys, hope you listen up. Kevin's laying down some massive nuggets of gold there. It's knowing your costs and building that in, and then charging your customer for it, and then providing and doing what you're charging for. Providing Absolutely. That to the customer. Well, that's the big thing. I mean, I know guys in the past who would charge one job and then do the other because of where they were at, and you can't do that. You got to do the job you charge for. You got to make sure that, like I said, it's all about, to me, integrity and reputation. To be successful in business isn't just about making money. But that's a proponent of it. But you have to focus on all these other things that help drive your business forward. That's right. Well said, man. Hey, to change it up here just a little bit, we'll get that out of not being so serious. All right. We're lighting up on you guys. All right. We're going to lighten up a little bit. Hey, Kevin, what's a favorite tool? What's a favorite tool of yours, or a must-have tool that you recommend? I got to say that the number one tool that I recommend would have to be, I love my little Milwaukee tubing cutter. Yeah. Okay. And I know guys say it takes longer than cutting it with a regular tubing cutter. It does, but it can fit in the spot an imp can fit, and you're not slamming your hand against the wall. Right. 1, 2, my wrists really appreciate the fact that I can just get in there and pull the trigger and just hold it firm like a drill, as opposed to going back and forth and everything else like that. I grew up with a computer, working on my own stuff, everything else. My wrists hurt. So to be able to just put that on there and pull the trigger, it was a nice improvement. That and my cordless bandsaw. My cordless bandsaw is another go-to for nice, clean, smooth cuts and tight spots. I probably use that more than my Sawzall. There we go. I know. It's amazing the kind of tools we think are fun. One of my favorite tools was a certain flashlight. And when I lost it, I left it in the crawl space once or something and lost it. It was like actually had me down for a day or two, because I thought like I lost my little buddy. It just felt good. It just made my day easier, Yeah. And it had a certain feel. So it is just fun to hear. All right, man. Hey, Kevin, I got to take a little bit of I got to recognize our sponsor here, pay some bills, all right? So we'll be right back with Kevin, guys. For the lightning round, we'll be hitting them up for the lightning round of questioning. But today's sponsor, all right, is GoPro Inner Circle Success Group. GoPro Inner Circle Success Group is a community of forward-thinking plumbing entrepreneurs and leaders from around the world. You got to know that many successful entrepreneurs and leaders such as Henry Ford, Richard Branson, even Bill Gates have benefited from the power of success groups just like GoPro Inner Circle Success Group to grow and take their businesses to the next level. And now you can too. It's a place where you can stay informed with the latest news, industry trends and techniques. There's also member-only videos for professional coaching from everything to how to create a memorable brand, which Kevin is dropping some good nuggets there, to how to get the best discounts from suppliers, how to charge what you're worth, how to get 5-star reviews, and so much more. And also with the GoPro Inner Circle Success membership is the exclusive GoPro
the GoPro show, where we actually interview industry leaders around the world and get to hear straight from them and seek advice there. So, of course, there's the opportunity to network with others just like you. So it's a great place to be. Other success groups charge hundreds, even thousands of dollars to get to this kind of expertise and training, but not for you, all right? There's a special there just for you. So check it out. You can go to themilliondollarplumber.com/go-pro. All right. And so just go there and check it out. You'll be glad you did. It's just wise, not to go alone, but go pro. All right. So go there and check it out. You'll be glad you did. All right. Let's bring Kevin back. Kevin, you ready for the lightning round?
Sure am.
All right. You ready to go here? All right. Hey, for you guys that are watching, guys and gals, you can answer these questions as well. Just put your answers down in the comments. And what we do here in the lightning round is we ask either or questions like Coke or Pepsi. And Kevin would say...
Guinness.
Guinness, of course. That's right. Very, very fitting. All right. But not till after work. Right. Okay. Of course. All right. Here we go. PVC or ABS?
PVC.
All right. General or rigid?
Rigid.
Milwaukee or DeWalt?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah. I'm a Milwaukee man, too.
Everything in the truck.
All right.
Goes back to the uniform. I know lightning round, but this goes back to the whole branding to me. I branded the truck, the uniform, everything. The tools got to look uniform, too. Milwaukee's got a great selection of red and black tools. They all match my bags, my tools, the whole gabang, Even the red cord on the acetylene tank.
Hey, you guys up there, listen up there. Kevin's on it. It's so important. It's just that uniformity, just like what you said.
The ladder, it's all colored schemes.
It's easy for your customer to remember that, and just remember you, right?
Yep.
That's what it's about. Okay. Hey, poly or PEX?
PEX.
Copper or CPVC?
Copper.
Yeah, all right. We're talking to a pro.
Come on. Yeah, I love my torch.
That's right. Your little buddy. Residential or commercial?
Residential.
Tank or tankless?
Tank.
Tank.
What do you mean by tankless? ProPress?
Okay.
Yeah.
Crawl space or slab?
Crawl space.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is an important one. Taco Bell or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. You're a McDonald's man. Okay.
Yeah. Although, I'm more gas station man, I'm sure. Like
that's right.
Service guys.
Yeah. You grab what's your favorite thing to grab at the gas station? We all did it. We all do it. At the gas station. The Quest protein bars and usually and a cup of coffee.
I try to pick my gas stations where my Dunkin' Donuts are. That's how I figure my job. It's like, okay, I got to get to here. Where's the Dunkin' on the way? Oh, that's the way I'm going.
All right. Thanks for the transparency. Very good. All right. Hey, no judging, guys. We all do it. Okay. Hey, trench or trenchless?
Trench.
Yeah, I'm a backhoe guy. Even though that trenchless technology is pretty cool, though.
It's something I'm looking into. It's not something a lot of people around here do, so it'd be a great niche to get into. Again, it's about finding, what you can do that someone else can't. And we're not there yet up here. A lot of it. Westchester County, up until about 2 years ago, there was still one area where you had to do lead and oakum. So, That's an important note there. It's what your customers are used to, too. They may not be ready for. Oh, absolutely. Whenever I use PEX in a circumstance where it merits it, where it makes sense, the customer always well, why not use copper? And it's like, well, you have hard water, right. So I really don't want to put something in there that's going to deteriorate. Two of the PEX I use is the Worsboro Uponor PEX, the expansion type. So if this is a situation where you're experiencing extreme weather, cold, it can safely expand 1.5 times its diameter. Now, the fittings aren't designed that way. That's important to note, that the fittings are not designed to expand, but the pipe itself is. And as long as the pipe expands before the fitting does, you're still in a pretty safer atmosphere than copper,
And Kevin, I can tell. Hey, guys, hope you're listening up. Kevin's on it here. Notice how he explained, even with that answer, that's what our customers are looking for. That's what your customers are looking for when you talk to them. We just can't go in there anymore and just say, it's $500. We got to be able to tell them why it is, that, and why it is you're doing it that way, and the benefits of doing it that way. And if you do it, you get the job. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Absolutely, every time.
Every time.
Unless it's something that's out of their means.
Right. Totally.
We're doing the job. And even then, we're always working on that, because people can afford more than what they think. Think they can afford. It just means that this weekend you're not going to dinner, or you're not getting that six-pack tonight. Exactly. There are ways to cut back, but this is important. I mean, I have customers who've lived in their homes for 20 years, and when I tell them they need an acid neutralizer, they buy one from me, even though they can't afford it. They think they can't afford it. In their mind, they can't afford it. They've been priced before and couldn't afford it, but they buy one from me because now they understand that you now have copper, you have lead in some of these homes, you have galvanized in some of these homes, that you're leaching into your drinking water, your bathing water. So, fix that. It's destroying your clothes because it's acidic, so it's actually destroying the fiber in your clothing. Like, the value of your home is depreciating every day that you're not treating this water.
Right. You guys hear that? It's covering those bases, being able to explain, to your customer on what it is. And as we were talking before the show, I think, Kevin, you said that your close rate is over 90%. So was mine, and with our company as well. And I just attribute that to just explaining to the customer, and again, every customer, it's been that way for 30 years. You tell them it's $500, their head's going to spin around $500, or you can tell them it's $50, and their head's still going to spin around $50.
Absolutely.
It's always been that way, but you need to explain.
Yeah, they need to see the value in what they're doing.
Exactly. All right. Hey, good nuggets there, man. Hey, Red Bull or coffee? I think you already said.
Coffee, yeah.
Coffee, yeah. I'm a coffee guy, too. Solder fittings or shark bites?
Solder. Come on. Shark bite. Those shark bites are, it's Friday night, and I'm coming back tomorrow morning to do the job. Or we can't shut the water down, or, you're doing a rough in and you want to quickly cap the lines, throw a shark bite on it because you're coming back to pipe it out.
Right.
They are not permanent fittings. I don't care what anybody says, because I spent all winter taking broken shark bites and replacing them with copper fittings.
Yep. All right, you young guns. Also, they're expensive.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they're really expensive. So
to me, your value is your value. What you bid the job is what you bid the job. Your material should be covered.
Right.
So, if the customer moves forward paying more for material, that's a burden on the customer. But I truly think that you're not giving them the right job.
Exactly. All right, man. Adjustable wrench or channel locks?
Unfortunately, channel locks. I'd love to say adjustable wrench, but my channel locks are always in my pockets.
Yeah, mine too. It was always there. All right. Well, that's the end of the lightning round here. But hey, got an important question for you, Kevin. Is there some what's some piece of advice that you received that you'd like to share with us that was just very important to you?
All right, so when I first came back to residential, I did residential. I didn't do construction for a while. I ran work. I ran, actually, not too long ago, a $1.4 million plumbing project in 5 months. But when I came back to residential and I was buying boots, right? Boots that I could polish, keep shined. I do keep my boots polished. I polish them every night. My wife wants to kill me because the mess I leave by the certain bathroom that I use to do it. But the shoe salesman, when I was there, we were talking, and he's a very niche shoe salesman, and he said that when Walmart popped up down the street and Payless, people told him he was going to go out of business if he kept selling expensive shoes, because that's what he does. He sells expensive shoes and expensive boots. And he said to me, he's like, you know what I told them? I said, you have to figure out who you are. And then he looked at me and he said, what kind of plumber are you? And I said, excuse me? He's like, are you the used car plumber or are you the Mercedes plumber? He's like, everybody needs a plumber, but you have to determine what kind of plumber you're going to be. So, and that's the truth. I don't see, again, you have guys, man in the van, who are good plumbers, making a living, but they're not business savvy. So they're working, and when they're hurt, their income is gone. And then you have plumbers who generate business and grow business and have employees and grow technicians and service people and have people in the office. Those are more akin to the Mercedes. You're selling a service. You're not just providing one, Like the the Kia plumber. Everybody needs a car. Everybody needs a plumber. Some people can afford the Mercedes, and once they drive one, they never want to go back to the Kia. And some people can only afford the Kia, and I get that, So you have to determine what you want your customer base to be and where you need to be to have the business you want. So,
oh man, hey,
that's not a bash on Kia either, by the way.
No,
I'm just saying, cost comparative.
Hey, I hope you guys are listening to that. I mean, a great nugget of gold that Kevin gave us. We got to know. You got to know what kind of plumber you are. Who are you? What do you want to be? And you got to be that. And hey, great. A great nugget there, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for being on the Potty Talk Live today. It's been great having you aboard. All right, man. And hey, I love your business. Love your brand. I love your attitude. I'm having a little bit of bromance here, man. Hey, I mean, thanks for making us all look good, and wish you all the best, and you and your wife and your daughters. And again, it's Kevin Nickerson of Many Miracles, plumbing, heating, and air. And it looks like Pablo here. Great job, Kevin.
How are you, Pablo?
Miracles. Hey, there we go. Yeah, got a note up here. I've used many miracles in the past, and they educate you as they do the job. All right. Hey, have a customer testimony there. So, and way to go. All right, Kevin. Well, it looks like you're doing a great job. And again, thanks for making the rest of us look so good. And keep on plumbing like a champion, man.
Thanks. I'll do my best. Yeah.
All right, brother. Look forward to talking with you again.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care. All right, gang. There you have it. Kevin Nickerson out of New York. And, man, just great. I hope you were listening there. Great nuggets of gold that he laid down, was giving us. And just a great, man, a cool cat there. Hey, if you'd like to be on Potty Talk Live, I'd love to have you on Potty Talk Live. I'd love the opportunity to speak with you as well. And hear your nuggets of gold. All right, it's an easy thing to do. Just go to www.pottytalklive.com and click on the Be My Guest, and just fill out a little information there. And the producer will follow up with you, and we'll get you on the show. It's a fun time, and it's a good time together. So I'd love to have the opportunity to talk with you. All right. Also, I want to get my 7 must-knows to be $1 million plumber in your hands. Okay, there are the 7 must-knows, the 7 secrets. Kevin touched on a couple of them, and you need to know those things if you wish to be successful and take your plumbing company to the next level and beyond, and to fulfill your plumbing company dreams. All right, so you can just type in free in the comments. That's the word free, FREE, and I'll get that right out to you. Okay. All right, gang. Other than that, until we meet again, I just want you to remember that you were purposefully and wonderfully created. So when you're out there, plumb like a champion.